Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Million Dollar Media. I'm your host, Max Garhols, and with me today we have.
Yen.
And I guess Miko, we got that guy too.
Begrudgingly, Miko.
Just keep me in like a broom closet in the office because we've got an office now.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, I guess we do. It's like the shittiest office imaginable. Just like everything's just kind of like from IKEA and falling apart.
Hey, fuck you, half my apartment's from IKEA.
Sorry. Well, enough about destruction of apartments. Let's talk about destruction of Rio. We're going to be talking about Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire, the newest in the Warner Brothers legendary MonsterVerse. Yes, that is the name of this universe that they have kind of pushed through in making. Because I don't think all these movies have been critically well received, but they've made money, so they're just like, fuck it, keep going. Do I really have to explain the plot? It's kind of simple. Godzilla and Kong must team up to fight another giant monkey and other forces. Let's just say. I don't want to reveal too much because the trailer doesn't reveal too much, but we'll save that for spoilers. I'm just going to say I had a lot of fun with this movie. I wasn't a huge fan of Godzilla vs. Kong. I thought it was a little too silly and focused way too much on humans for me to like. And I just found the ultimate fight at the end kind of lackluster, and I really didn't give a shit about Mecha Godzilla being in that film. So I wasn't really looking forward to this movie. In that, like, I've wanted to see giant monsters, and if they had that, I would have been fine. That being said, I feel like this movie did something in that, like, the humans ultimately don't really have that big of an impact on the film. Like, there's extra long scenes dedicated to just the monsters. No dialogue, just all monsters. And those are my favorite scenes in the film. Honestly, you could cut all the human stuff out of the film and the film would be no different, in my opinion. I just feel like they just decided, okay, we're just going to do monster stuff and we're going to have fun doing it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this film. By no means is it like a Oscar-winning movie like Godzilla Minus One. This is a dumb, fun popcorn movie, and it's done very well. I at least had a great time watching this. I was cheering in the theater, throwing my fist in the air out of excitement. I just had a lot of fun, and yeah, that's all I really got to say. Like, we could get into some details, but I kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts right now, just about the overall film.
Yeah, the human parts were usually like the weakest aspect of the film. Like, if you, I don't even know if you want to call it a plot. Like, there wasn't really a plot or nothing, but like anything that had to do with the humans was just like utter nonsense. Like, even the like rules were not very consistent on like what, like, I don't know. Whenever they said that they needed the freaking like little girl to like talk to Kong, but like they broke that rule at
Yeah.
least like once or twice. And then the freaking like nerdy black guy, like, I don't know. I guess it was like for comedic effect, but like him just like translating, I guess, for like the hidden underground like Manchu tribe. Like, I don't know. I thought that was just stupid.
I
But
mean,
like all the monster shit was cool.
weirdly though, of all these movies that have come out, I enjoyed the human stuff the most in this, only because it was like, unlike the other movies where there was like 10 human characters that we always had to focus on. In this, they just kind of kept it to the three, or the four, I should say. I agree with you on that. Like the Brian Tyree Henry's character, the black guy that you were talking about, he.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know the names of any of them.
I know the name of the actors, so I was just like, I'll just say the name just to be respectful. He didn't make me laugh all the time. There were some jokes just around like having a podcast that I just kind of found funny, but that's just me though.
Do that, and he had the Discord. He's like, my Discord channel is leaking.
Yeah, I thought that was
Particular word.
pretty funny. The one human character I did enjoy was the hippie British guy who was like the monster dentist medical guy, whatever the hell.
I bet.
He's British. I thought he's Australian.
I thought he was British.
Yeah, we need a consensus from the audience. Put up a poll. Put up a
I think
draw
he's
poll.
I think he's British because I know that the actor is British.
Shit, you're probably right. I don't remember very much, but I don't know. His just whole vibe felt very like Steve Irwin-ish, I guess. Just like
I get what you mean. Yeah.
he's gonna fucking do some shit with the big critters and be like perfectly fine.
Sound British but look Australian.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, dude. No, he has a very Australian look. That's probably what's throwing me off.
The
Is
butt
this
nut.
racist?
It's white people, so it's not. But yeah, his character I enjoyed. Like this one guy who's the only guy dumb enough slash brave enough to get inside these monsters' mouths to like take a tooth out. Like I found that to be kind of funny. In this world they've set up, they would need someone to do that, and I kind of like that they just created this weird character for it. Other than that, like you could kind of take or leave all the other characters from me personally. Not, I mean, I thought the whole mom and daughter element was all right, but it's just there for like a shoehorned attempt at this movie has heart, and it kind of worked for me. I don't know. It's basic, but it was cute.
All I can say is that while I did enjoy the fight scenes, I can't say that I was a fan of the movie if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
Um, about halfway through the movie, I just felt like I got, you know, that feeling when you're watching something you don't necessarily enjoy, and then you're like, when is it going to end?
Yeah.
It like I went in between that and like being like, oh, this is pretty cool, around like the halfway point of the movie.
What was the part? What was the stuff that kind of took you out of the film? Just curious.
The humor, you know, like the podcast Discord guy. Like, if I'm being completely honest, I kind of found him cringy,
That's fair.
and like he just reminds me of like how I guess in the last generation, right? I don't know if you can say that, but like he's like the black dude from the Transformers movies, like the very first one.
Oh,
Like
that's
he feels like
right.
like it's like a silly comedic black man, and they're like it's almost like he's falling under a trope because it's like you always have those type of characters in these types of movies, and I'll be honest, I feel like I enjoy Transformers more than Godzilla X Kong.
That's fair.
Yeah, just the characters, like I kind of found them cringy.
If you were to just like cut out all the human stuff, would you enjoy just the monster stuff? Because I feel like there's enough monster stuff in this film to kind of satisfy like people who just want to see the big
I
fights.
I wanted it all to be monster stuff. I don't want to hear no human language. I just want to hear and like people being destroyed, civilizations being ruined, more more titans being brutally, I almost said a different word there. Just brutally destroyed. If y'all know who Bobby Lee, you'll know what I mean by I was gonna say something else after brutally.
Speaking of Asian people,
I hate him. Huh?
what I was gonna say is like I kind of wish in like these American movies, at least ones with Godzilla in them, I kind of want to see more Japanese people, honestly, because like the first Godzilla movie in this canon, I guess you could say, what had a oh fuck, what is his name? Ken
It's
Watanabe.
yeah, I know that guy from The Last Samurai.
Yeah, I want to. He was really cool in the first two Godzilla films. Then they kind of killed him off, and I was like, oh, all right, I guess that he won't be there to see his boy Godzilla fight Kong. And ever since they got rid of him, I haven't really given a shit about any of the human characters because I found his character to be the most interesting out of all of them. I think I know that the new Monarch TV show that's on Apple has a lot of Japanese characters in them. So yeah, but that's a TV show. I want to see him on the movies. But I don't know. Maybe then again, if I want to see more Japanese people in Godzilla films, I should probably actually watch the Japanese Godzilla films.
Yes.
Like I still got to see -1, and when that movie does come out on DVD over here in the States, we'll watch it and review it. Also, probably review Shin Godzilla along with it because I think that'd be pretty fun. But yeah, that's all I got to really say about the human characters. So you guys want to just move on to like, to kick off spoilers? I want to talk about just what I really liked about like them adding some personalities to these monsters. And I think my favorite thing is that they just made Godzilla a complete asshole. In that like he's supposed to be the quote unquote protector of Earth, but I say quote unquote because he's just protecting the Earth and nature itself. He does not give a shit about humans at all. So there's just moments where like he'll just like walk into bridges and stomp on buildings, go through buildings with people in it. Like he doesn't care. And I kind of find that fun because it kind of goes back to like the original 1954 Godzilla. That kind of made the character a little fun for me. And that like, oh, he's just an animal. That's fun. And I like the whole Khan of War idea they kind of put into Khan, and that he's got this little kid now. And I found that to be kind
Dude,
of
that
fun.
thing should have been dead.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I don't know. Because, like, dude, no, like, the first fight, he, like, literally picks him up and, like, smashes him against, like, 3 or 4 other, like, apes. It's like, that thing should have died.
That was my favorite part. Because honestly, going into the film, I was really worried about that little monkey because I thought it was just going to be a really annoying attempt to sell toys to little kids.
Dude, yeah, it was, like, looking like to be the Baby Yoda of, like, this
Exactly.
franchise.
Exactly. But Khan just picks him up and, as you said, uses him as a weapon. I was just like, okay, I kind of enjoy this now. And he didn't really get on my nerves because I like the little relationship they had, and just that, like, this little, from what the toys and like the internet seems to be calling the little monkey, his name is Suko, Suko. His little, I love
It's
his little.
weird. Why would they give him a name?
Oh, I mean, Khan has a name.
Yeah, but, like, no one ever addresses him as, like, Tsuko. He's just, like, he
That
just
is true.
exists. So, like, he's, like,
Yeah.
he's just there.
Yeah, like they never outright say it in the film that that's Suko, because for the most part, every time you see him, he's just interacting with other apes and they don't talk. They just have like facial expressions and monkey laughter at each other. And I'll say this, seeing the memes that have come from this movie, it's really funny. And a lot of them come from the Scar King, which was that giant orangutan.
The slave master with the whip.
Yeah, but I was like,
No, that's an accurate title. He literally enslaved the rest of them. He's like the king,
he even had
or a
sex.
warlord rather.
He even had sex slaves. There's one moment where like you see next to his throne a bunch of like female apes clutching children, kind of implying that like
Uh,
those are his.
he's breeding an army.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, was you know how baby monkey's a different color? Wait, I
Yeah,
mean like fur.
yeah.
Um,
He's a bit more orange.
is
Yeah,
is evil Irish monkey orangutan good father then?
I would imagine.
Damn.
So yeah,
He's
Khan
just
pretty much just
producing an army with his concubines.
yeah, Khan pretty much like pretty much came in and became the stepdad.
Does that mean he gets to fuck the monkey wives now?
I mean, if he wants to.
Yeah, no one's gonna stop Kong, dude. That was like the thing. Like, dude, like Kong was so big. Like, I don't know. Like the freaking like evil king monkey or whatever. Like, he was like a skinny dude, and like albeit like he was pretty skilled with the whip and he had like some good fighting skills, but like I don't know, Kong should have definitely won that first encounter.
Oh,
Like,
definitely. Well, he kind of did, and then the Scar King was just like, "Hey, yo, let me cook," and then pulls out the magic whip and releases the monster Shimu or Shimo, whatever, the ice monster that's new to this film, which wasn't really revealed in the trailers. Like you see hints of it in the trailer, but like I didn't want to say it during non-spoiler. But since we're kind of having fun now, yeah, there's another monster in this film that I enjoyed this one. I like that it kind of looks like a quadrupedal Godzilla creature, in that it has like the dorsal plates in the back, but instead of breathing fire, it has like a freeze breath kind of thing. I thought she was a pretty cool monster.
my only problem with it is like it should have been bigger. Like, it just seemed really small in comparison to like the rest. Like, it didn't really feel like an end game threat. Like,
I get you.
I guess like it was Kong versus the big monkey and Godzilla versus Shimu or whatever the fuck it was called. Like, I don't know. It just didn't even feel like a fair matchup. Like that's like my only problem with like the monster fighting was that like the power scaling just felt like, all right, this is like clearly in their favor. Like the plot armor kind of shit. Like, of course they're gonna win, but like it
Yeah,
didn't feel like too much of a challenge.
I agree. One of the things going into this film that I was like, oh, cool, they're gonna have like more ape characters, because like Godzilla has like an entire roster of like characters from like the original movies, and there's so many you can pick from. that have like lasers and stuff like that. But Kong really doesn't have anything like that. Like King Kong movies pretty much always end with Kong dying. So like he doesn't really have anything to fight except like biplanes and stuff like that. But what made me kind of like Kong in this film more is that like you get to see him interact with other apes and how special he is compared to all of them. Like I don't know. Whenever I would think of like Kong versus Godzilla, I'm always like, well, Godzilla's gonna kick this thing's ass because it has like fire breath, thick armor on, claws, so many things that King Kong doesn't have. So like, what's so special about this monkey? And in this film, it's just like, oh no, he's like he's brave. He's kind of like he's gonna go into this place and try to like liberate his people. I don't know. I just liked his personality throughout the film. Like he always throws the axe behind on his shoulder. He kind of looks like the brawny man throughout most of the movie. And then when he gets that power glove thing, I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
I was hoping eventually like he'd get like a full suit of armor because that would just be ridiculous to see.
I would have loved that, honestly.
He's like a space marine, but like King Kong version.
That sounds awesome. Who knows? Maybe they could do that down the line.
Wait. Yeah, then he just looked like Winston from Overwatch. I just realized that.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the Khan stuff in this movie more than I have any of the other movies, including. I mean, I enjoyed Khan Skull Island, but I thought it wasn't all right. I thought it was all right. But this movie, I was like, oh, this is fun. I like getting to see more giant monkeys. And I like that they all didn't look like Khan. Like, some of them pretty much no hair. Some of them had too much hair. Some of them looked like orangutans. Some of them looked like bonobos. Like, it was really interesting. I like that they kind of varied it up a bit.
Yeah, I think some had war paint, right? Like white ash and like red streaks.
Yeah, I thought that looked cool too. And I think my favorite part of that, and it's another meme that came out of this film, is that one ape that gets up in Khan's face and just goes like, and then Khan just punches him, knocking him out in one go. I thought that was really funny. Like the meme, like someone filmed that and made it a meme. There's so many fun moments in this, like when Khan goes to recruit Godzilla to the fight. Like, first of all, they're screaming at each other from across the world, basically saying, "Hey, bitch, over here!" Also, yeah, Godzilla in this film, like, I swear, he's playing this whole movie like he's on New Game Plus.
How so?
And that, like, okay, first thing he does, he goes to that nuclear power plant in, I don't know, France. I forgot where it was.
Yeah, it was in France.
Basically gets thermonuclear, goes to the Arctic, basically kills that poor creature who was not bothering anybody. I think his name was Tiamat or something like that. It was just minding its own business. He comes in, kills it, takes over its home, charges up. So yeah, that's why I say he's playing on New Game Plus, and that like he did all the side missions, and then when he gets to the final boss, it's kind of easy for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The freaking Mothra cameo, it was pretty cool. It was cool seeing Mothra, but it's like it was like overkill. You got 3v2 essentially, like
pretty much,
and the two were already like weak.
Well, I should say it's not really a 3v2 because like the Scar King and Shimu had all the other apes too.
True. Yeah, Mothra was kind of just playing support, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, yeah, but going to Mothra, like that was kind of fun to see. Like Mothra is kind of like a fun character that I like. I like Mothra. I think she's kind of like the most innocent of all the original Toho monsters. Now, keep in mind, I haven't seen all the original Toho films, so there could be a part where like Mothra is just destroying an orphanage. Haven't seen that, but I don't get how she just kind of materializes out of fucking nowhere. That doesn't make any sense, and I don't think that's in the lore because I think she goes through like a larva stage and then her butterfly moth form. But I don't really care. I still like that she was in the film, and that they kind of made Gia one of the Mothra girls from the original film. I thought that was kind of cute. I really enjoyed like that Egypt fight when again Kong tries to go recruit Godzilla, and like I love the part where like Godzilla's just charging. You just see Kong just go like, "Hey, look over here! Wait, no, what are you doing?" And then the thing that I still can't get over that made me laugh so much in the theater, it's back to back. It's Khan using pocket sand by just grabbing the sands of Egypt and throwing it in Godzilla's face. That made me laugh so much.
Yeah, that was so awesome.
That was so funny to me. It was just like, oh my god, they just did pocket sand. And then Godzilla does a suplex.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about the suplex. People were like fucking hyped up about that.
Well, to me, it reminds me of like when Godzilla in the original films did that epic gravity-defying drop kick. But that him doing like a suplex reminded me of that, and I was like, of all the films he can do a drop kick in, this would be the one.
Dude, I was kind of surprised when they went to Brazil because like up until like that point, like pretty much, I guess other than the Coliseum up to that point, actually no, Godzilla kind of kicks a little bit of the Coliseum when he gets out of it, but like they destroyed all the freaking pyramids, like. He was just jacking up like all like the world wonders, and then they go to Brazil and they've got like two freaking like shots like on the Christ the Redeemer statue. I'm like, dude, are they really about to destroy the Christ the Redeemer in this movie?
If they did, they would piss off way too many Catholics and Christians.
Dude, yeah, no, that would have upset a lot of people. That's why I was like, dude, there's no way that they just like pulled up in Rio like that.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been shocked if like the Jesus statue just came alive and started and got in the fight himself. I like that they go to cities in this film that you don't see a lot of kaiju fights in. I like seeing a kaiju fight in Egypt with against the pyramids of Giza and stuff like that. I think that's pretty funny because those never get touched. Those are like these sacred things. And I like seeing Brazil like get completely wrecked. Well, hold on, I shouldn't say like the actual living, the real world Brazil. I mean like this movie Brazil. I don't know. I like seeing different locations in these giant monster movies because it's always like Tokyo, Hong Kong, or New York. Not really what much I could say. The final fight like has some cool moments. Like I like the finishing kill. I think that was pretty cool. Pun not
Oh,
intended.
where
He
you
like
talking about
freaking
the
dunks on him.
Yeah, like they freeze him. I like Godzilla going back to the Coliseum and just sleeping.
So they're making another one, right?
Kind
Because
of.
like they kill the Kongs, dude. Like, there's no way they're gonna like go to the next one and be like, all right, we've got another hidden tribe of fucking giant gorillas under the earth.
I definitely think that they're going to make another film. I heard that they're going to flip who they focus on. Like in this film, it was very Khan focused, and like it was his villain, it was his people. He's the one who's kind of like gets the arc in the film. Apparently, from what I've heard, is that the next film they want to flip it and make it more of a Godzilla story, which I am all for.
I'm down. I want to see I guess like the version of Godzilla that isn't an asshole because this is actually my first introduction into Godzilla as a character or whatever.
Really.
Yeah.
I
So is he always like that?
it depends on what film you watch and like who he's fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he's fighting Mothra, he's the bad guy. If he's fighting Ghidorah, he's the good guy. I would say, if, like, there's a ratio of films where he's good to bad, like, it's a pretty, like, 66% good guy, 33% bad guy. Like, in the first, like, I highly recommend you watch the 1954 Godzilla film. It's a little slow because it is a film made in the 50s, but I still think it holds up pretty well. I watched it before watching this new one, and I still love it. I still love the original 1954 film. It's very haunting. Again, this creature is a metaphor for nuclear power. So getting to see like the Japanese talk about that film, like I don't know, it was a really interesting film to understand, knowing the context of like it's only like probably less than a decade after the bombs hit the cities.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to watch it with that knowledge in mind. But if you watch other films in the Showa era of Godzilla, where it's like he's fighting a new monster every film, and it's really ridiculous, it's really goofy, it's really funny. I love those films personally because it's just pure silliness. It's fun. Like there's a lot of really cool monsters and characters that have made their way into these films, especially like that's where you got like Mothra and Ghidorah and Rodan and a bunch of other ones that I'm not going to mention, but I'd recommend those films too. It just depends on what film you see because I kind of compare Godzilla to Batman in that, like, you can take Batman in a really dark and realistic depiction, or you can have Batman in this really ultra goofy comedy style, and no matter what you do, it's still the same character and it can work.
No, I was kind of curious of the same thing. I hadn't seen any Godzilla stuff prior to this. Like, I saw the original Kong from like way back whenever, but like
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla was kind of unknown territory. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, I don't know. I guess I didn't really know his personality much before this, but like this movie didn't really seem to give him that much of a personality beyond like he just wrecks shit. Like he doesn't have that kind of ability like Kong does, where like he can, I guess, communicate. Like Godzilla kind of just seemed like purely a beast.
Yeah, I agree. Um, but you guys ask, like, what would I like to see going forward? The one character that I think would be really cool. I don't know if they have the rights to this character because it is a completely different series. I would love them to introduce Gamera. Do you guys know who that is, or am I completely introducing something new to you guys?
I've heard the
It's,
name, but I don't know.
it's new to me. I've never heard of that.
Gamera is the giant turtle.
Okay.
He's got a lot of the same Godzilla powers in that, like, he can do fire or some kind of laserish kind of power out of his mouth. He can fly.
He
It's
can
really
fly.
funny how he can fly because he basically just goes inside of his shell and it basically has rockets come out of each hole and he spins and flies around that like that. It's
Oh,
really,
dude,
really.
you gotta put a picture of that up. I'm looking at Google Images, and it's fucking awesome.
Gamera is so awesome. And what makes him interesting, and unlike all the other monsters, even Kong, he's a gentle giant, and that, like, he is known as the um, friend to all children.
Mm.
Like, he's a.
Oh,
And to be fair, I haven't seen all the films, and I've only seen that, like, in a death battle clip. But I really like the character, and I think it'd be really cool to, like, see that character get introduced in these films because a lot of the lore that's in Gamera is very similar to the lore that's already established in these films. So I know you hate me saying that, oh, they find another secret tribe. But if they were to be like, oh, over here on this side of things, they find Gamera, like, I think that'd be pretty cool. And the thing that, like, a lot of fans have always wanted is like, okay, if Godzilla and Gamera were to fight, who would win? They're similar to each other more than Godzilla and Kong. Godzilla and Kong has the added benefit of it being like an East versus West kind of thing, whereas like Gamera is a character created in Japan for a Japanese and hasn't really made the leap over to America. So I think it'd be kind of cool if they introduced that character here. But I don't know. He's ridiculous. He's funny. He's sweet. He's a really cool character, and I would love to see, like, maybe instead of like them leading up to like Godzilla versus Kong again, they do Godzilla versus Gamera. Like, I think that'd be fun.
I guess, do you have any insight on like, because yeah, like Godzilla and Kong are like definitely like East versus West. Is it like, does like I think you said it was Warner. Like, do they have like the rights to Godzilla, or like how is this like collaboration like possible?
I know that both characters of Godzilla and Kong are owned by two different companies. Like, Kong was made by a company called RKO Radio Pictures, and Godzilla was made by Toho. Toho is allowing Godzilla and certain characters from the Godzilla pantheon, I guess you can say, to be used over here in America. And King Kong is just kind of like, okay, who wants to pay for the rights this time? It's like anyone can really make a King Kong film if they wanted to. They would just have to pay RKO for the rights.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious. 'Cause I know that like it's a little unrelated, but like I guess the like rights kind of stuff
Oh yeah.
is like touchy. Like I know, I think it was Friday the 13th. Like they're just sort of locked up on that one because like the two dudes are having their legal clash.
Yeah, that's a whole thing for another time. Yeah, no, like, if there's anything that's proven is that, like, the real monsters involved are the guys in suits controlling all these characters. I know the director of this film said that he would love to do a Hedorah, which is like this smog monster kind of thing. And it's like kind of a more poignant character now because of like climate change and pollution in the ocean and kind of thing like that, and everything like that. Like, it's a character that could kind of work for today. So I don't know. That's what the director said he would like to do. Do you guys have anything else to say before we kind of like wrap it up?
All I'll say on my end is that when I saw that Iwi supposed last survivor girl, I knew that if they were gonna show her people were gonna look Asian.
And were they?
Yeah.
What about you, Miko?
Yeah, I know you weren't. I know you weren't a fan of the ancient, like Hollow Earth Asians, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember after the movie you told me to go back to Hollow Earth.
Dude, I wouldn't actually. No, it's kind of dangerous down there. I wouldn't want to go there. Actually, the tribe was cool though. I like the tribe.
Yeah, that's pretty much our thoughts on this new Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. Fun movie. I highly recommend that if you love like popcorn fun movies with giant monsters, you're gonna love this. If you love Godzilla, you're gonna like it. If you love King Kong, you're gonna like it. I think there's enough monsters in this film for you to enjoy it and just have a good old time. Is it high art? Hell no. Is it fun art? Hell yes. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. Yeah, do you guys want to just say your names one more time before we leave?
Alright, guys, it's been fun, but I, Jan, must go back to my Iwi people. I need to go back to Hollow Earth.
I guess I'm Miko. I'll go back to the Mega Million janitorial closet.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm Max Keller Halls. Thank you for listening to our review. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe button. We are currently in April, which means we are about to do Anime April. Couldn't think of a better movie to start off Anime April, honestly. So yeah, we should be releasing videos for Anime April up pretty soon. If you want to see more from us, hit the link down below and subscribe to our Patreon. $5 a month, you get to listen to most of our videos unedited and unfiltered. So yeah, that's definitely something you want to listen to. If you like our thoughts on this video, please share it around to other people. Get the word out there on our channel. We definitely want to do more stuff like this in the near future. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Have a good day. Bye.